Once upon a time, in a small town near a big city, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Mia Parker. Mia wasn't rich, but she had a heart as big as the sky. She lived with her mother in a cozy little house, and they didn't have a lot of money. But Mia always made sure to help others, whether it was by sharing her lunch or helping an elderly neighbor carry groceries. One afternoon, Mia was walking home from school when she saw something strange. A black sports car was parked by the side of the road, its front bumper smashed. The car's door was open, and a man was lying on the ground, holding his leg and groaning in pain. Mia rushed over, her heart pounding in her chest. "Are you okay?" she asked, kneeling beside him. The man looked up at her with pain in his eyes. He was in his early 40s, wearing a nice suit. His face was covered in a bit of dirt, but his clothes and watch made it clear that he was wealthy. I, I'm not sure," he said weakly. "I think I hurt my leg. I can't move." Mia quickly checked his leg and saw that it was swollen and bruised. "You're hurt badly. I need to get help," she said, standing up to find a phone. But then she realized she didn't have one. Mia had an old flip phone, but it didn't work very well. She looked around, but there was no one else nearby. The roads were quiet and the houses were far apart. Mia had to act fast. She remembered there was a gas station just a few blocks away. She looked at the man one more time. "Stay right here. I'll be back soon." The man nodded, his face pale, and Mia ran as fast as she could to the gas station. She begged the clerk to call an ambulance, and within minutes the paramedics were on their way. A few hours later, Mia was sitting in the hospital waiting room. She was tired, but she couldn't stop thinking about the man she had helped. The doctors had told her that his leg was badly injured, but he would be okay after surgery. She felt proud of herself for helping him, but she was also worried about how he was doing. Just as Mia was about to leave, she was surprised to see a fancy black car pull up in front of the hospital, the same car that had been in the accident earlier. A man in a suit stepped out of the car. He looked around, and then he walked straight toward Mia. "Mia Parker?" the man asked, his voice deep and serious. Mia stood up, a little nervous. "Yes, that's me. How can I help you?" The man smiled and held out his hand. "I'm Victor Bennett. I believe you helped my brother earlier today. He was in an accident." Mia's eyes widened in surprise. She hadn't realized the man was a millionaire. Victor Bennett was one of the richest businessmen in the city. She shook his hand nervously. I I just did what anyone would do," Mia said quietly, feeling suddenly shy. Victor smiled at her. "I'm very grateful for what you did. My brother Greg can be a bit stubborn sometimes, but he's going to be okay thanks to you. I wanted to thank you properly." Mia was taken aback. "You don't have to thank me. I was just in the right place at the right time." Victor looked at her with a serious expression. "You're wrong, Mia. What you did wasn't something everyone would do. Most people would have just walked by, but you helped him without hesitation. That's rare. People like you are hard to find." Mia blushed. She had never been praised like this before. She wasn't used to compliments, especially from someone so rich and important. She didn't know what to say. Victor continued. "I'd like to offer you a job. I'm opening a new charity that helps kids in need, and I need someone with a big heart to help me run it. You've already shown me that you have the kind of heart I'm looking for." Mia's mouth dropped open. "A job? But I'm just a high school student. I don't know anything about running a charity." Victor chuckled softly. "You'd be surprised at what you can learn, and you don't need to know everything right away. I just need someone who cares. You've already proven you're the kind of person who can make a difference." Mia stood there, feeling like she was dreaming. A job with a millionaire? Running a charity? She couldn't believe it. But the more she thought about it, the more she realized that this could be the opportunity of a lifetime. I don't know what to say," she whispered. Victor smiled again. "You don't have to say anything right now. Take some time to think about it. I'll give you my number. Call me when you're ready." He handed her a business card, and Mia took it with shaking hand. She looked at it, still in disbelief. The card had Victor Bennett's name on it, along with his phone number and the name of his company. "Thank you," Mia said, her voice full of gratitude. "I'll think about it. I promise over the next few days." Mia couldn't stop thinking about the offer. She talked to her mom, who encouraged her to follow her dreams, but also reminded her to stay grounded. Mia had always dreamed of doing something meaningful with her life, but she had never imagined anything like this. The idea of working with Victor Bennett and running a charity felt like a dream. Mia didn't know much about business or big companies, but she knew she loved helping people. She had seen how much her community needed help, and this charity could be the perfect way to make a real difference. But Mia also wondered if she was ready for such a big responsibility. Was she really the right person for the job? What if she failed? What if the people in the charity didn't like her? After a lot of thinking and talking with her mom, Mia decided to take a leap of faith. She called Victor and told him she was ready to join his charity. Victor was thrilled. "I knew you'd make the right choice," he said. "We'll start small, and you'll learn everything you need to know. But most importantly, you'll be part of something that can change lives." Mia felt a rush of excitement as she hung up the phone. She was about to start a new chapter in her life. She didn't know exactly what the future held, but she knew one thing for sure. She was ready to make a difference. The next few weeks were a whirlwind for Mia. She had never imagined that one simple act of kindness would lead her to such an incredible opportunity. Her days were filled with meetings, phone calls, and brainstorming sessions with Victor and his team. She was learning more than she ever thought she would. And although it was overwhelming at times, Mia felt like she was finally doing something that truly mattered. Victor's charity, Hope for Tomorrow, was focused on helping children in need. The organization worked to provide education, food, and medical support to kids in low-income communities. Mia had always wanted to help children, and now with Victor's guidance, she was part of something that could change lives. Every day, Mia spent time working on new projects, helping design programs that would provide scholarships for kids, organizing donation drives, and even meeting with local businesses to get them involved in the charity's work. She was excited, but also a little nervous. She had no experience in running a charity or managing large projects, but Victor was patient, always encouraging her to ask questions and learn. One afternoon, Mia sat down at her desk in the office, surrounded by papers and notes. She had just finished organizing a fundraiser event for the charity and was reviewing the guest list. It was a big event, with many wealthy donors expected to attend. As she read through the names, one particular name caught her eye: Greg Bennett. Mia froze. Greg was the man she had helped after the accident. She had never heard much about him after that day, but she knew that he was Victor's brother. She hadn't realized he was so involved with the charity, but now that she saw his name on the guest list, it made sense. Suddenly, the door to the office opened, and Victor walked in, holding a coffee cup. "Hey, Mia, how's everything going?" he asked with a smile. Mia looked up at him, still holding the guest list in her hands. "Good, I think, but I just noticed that Greg is coming to the fundraiser. Is he involved with the charity too?" Victor's expression shifted slightly, his smile fading just a little. "Yeah, Greg's involved," he said, sitting down across from her. "But he's not really as hands-on as I am. He's more of a silent partner." Mia raised an eyebrow, sensing there was more to the story. "Silent partner? What does that mean?" Victor sighed and leaned back in his chair. "Greg and I have a complicated relationship. He's always been more interested in making money and growing his business than actually helping people. He doesn't always see eye to eye with me when it comes to the charity, but I've convinced him to help fund some of our programs. Still, he doesn't really believe in the kind of change we're trying to create. It's not about him wanting to hurt anyone, but he's just different from me." Mia nodded, feeling a little confused. She had only met Greg briefly when he was injured, and he had seemed like a nice guy. But now she wondered if there was more to his story than she realized. Victor continued, "I just don't want you to get caught up in the way Greg does things. He's got his own style, and sometimes it's not what we're about. But he does fund a lot of our programs, so we can't afford to push him away." Mia understood, but she still felt uneasy. She had a feeling that meeting Greg again might not be as simple as it seemed. The night of the fundraiser arrived, and the grand ballroom of a luxury hotel was filled with people in expensive suits and gowns. The room sparkled with chandeliers and soft music played in the background. There were large tables with elegant decorations, and waiters passed around hors d'oeuvres on silver trays. Mia felt a little out of place in her simple dress, but she knew this was important. She had worked hard to help organize the event, and this was her chance to make a real difference. Victor was busy talking to potential donors, and Mia was tasked with making sure everything went smoothly. She made her way around the room, introducing herself to some of the guests, explaining the charity's mission, and thanking people for their donations. As she was talking to a woman from a local business, she felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned around to see Greg Bennett standing there, holding a glass of champagne. "Mia, right?" Greg said, his smile warm but somewhat distant. Mia nodded. "Yes, that's me. It's nice to see you again, Greg. How are you feeling?" Greg shrugged, his expression casual. "Better, thanks to you. I don't think I'll ever forget how you helped me that day. You're a lifesaver." Mia smiled awkwardly. "I just did what anyone would do." Greg raised an eyebrow. "Not everyone would have. I've seen plenty of people walk by accidents like that. You were different." Mia didn't know how to respond. She wasn't used to compliments, especially from someone as wealthy and important as Greg. "So," Greg said, his tone shifting slightly, "I hear you've been doing a great job with the charity. My brother told me you've been helping a lot." Mia felt a little nervous under his gaze. "Thank you. I'm just trying to help however I can." Greg took a sip of his drink and studied her for a moment. "You know, I've been thinking," he said slowly, "you've got a lot of potential. You could go far in this world, farther than you think. If you ever want to get involved in something bigger, maybe even on my side, I could offer you a much better opportunity." Mia was taken aback. "What do you mean?" Greg leaned in slightly, lowering his voice. "I'm talking about business. You're a smart girl, Mia. I can tell. You could be running your own company, making a lot of money, and living the life you deserve. My connections, my resources, everything you need to succeed. I could help you with that. You don't have to stay in a small charity forever." Mia's heart raced as she processed his words. She had never thought about leaving the charity. Helping others was all she had ever wanted to do. But the idea of success and money was tempting. Greg's offer sounded like it could change her life forever. But was that the kind of life she really wanted? Mia didn't know. Mia stood there, her heart pounding in her chest. Greg's words echoed in her mind, tempting her with a future of wealth, power, and success. He was offering her a chance to be a part of something much bigger than the charity, something that could change her life forever. She could have a career, a company of her own, and everything she had ever dreamed of. The idea of living a life like that was so different from everything she had known. But as she looked around the grand ballroom, something deep inside her stirred. She remembered why she had started helping others in the first place. It wasn't for money or fame. It was because she wanted to make a difference, to help people who needed it the most. Mia glanced over at Victor, who was talking with a group of donors, laughing and smiling. She remembered the way he had believed in her from the start, how he had trusted her to help run the charity, even when she had no experience. It wasn't just about the programs or the donations. It was about helping children, giving them hope for a better future. Greg was still watching her, waiting for her answer. The temptation was there, and for a moment, Mia thought about it. But then she thought of the kids at the charity, the ones who might not get a chance to go to school or get medical care without people like her. She thought about the difference she could make in their lives. Taking a deep breath, Mia looked Greg in the eyes and said, "Thank you for the offer, Greg. It's kind of you to think of me, but I think I'm exactly where I need to be. I want to keep helping people, and I believe I can do that through hope for tomorrow. I don't need a life of luxury to feel fulfilled. What matters to me is making a real difference in the lives of children who need it the most." Greg's expression shifted. For a moment, Mia wasn't sure what he was thinking, but then he nodded slowly, his smile returning. This time it was more genuine. "I respect that," he said. "It's rare to see someone your age so committed to something like this. I guess I was wrong to think you'd want something different. Good luck with the charity, Mia. I'll support it, even if I don't completely understand it." Mia smiled, relieved. "Thank you, Greg. That means a lot to me." As the night went on, Mia felt a sense of peace settle over her. She had made the right choice. She wasn't looking for wealth or recognition. She didn't need to prove anything to anyone. What mattered was the impact she could make on the world, no matter how big or small. She had already started making a difference, and that was enough. In the weeks that followed, hope for tomorrow continued to grow. Thanks to Mia's hard work and dedication, more children were receiving scholarships, medical care, and food. The charity hosted successful events, raised more funds, and expanded its reach to even more communities in need. Victor was proud of Mia, and he continued to mentor her, teaching her more about running the charity and about life itself. Mia learned that true success wasn't about the money you made or the power you held. It was about the people you helped and the difference you made in the world. One day, as Mia was organizing a new program for the charity, she received a call from Greg Bennett. Mia, I just wanted to say I'm proud of you. I know I offered you a different path, but I can see now that you're doing something much more important. You've got a heart for this, and I respect that. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask. Mia smiled as she listened to his words. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. As she hung up the phone, Mia looked out the window of the office, watching the children playing outside in the sunshine. She knew she had made the right decision. She was exactly where she needed to be, doing what she loved, helping others, and living a life that was truly fulfilling. Mia may not have had the wealth or fame that many others chased, but she had something far more valuable, a purpose. And that, she knew, was more than enough. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends too. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a nice day.